when you want.
Rob Wilson, you guys were up early today. Bit of a weather window. Just talk us through that scenario first of all.
Yeah, it's kind of gone back to winter down here in Palma. Yeah, it's blooming cold today. We're getting a max of about 6 degrees, which is chilly for this time of year. Yeah, we got out early. We got on the water at 9, so that was a sort of 7 o'clock rollout for the lads. Because there's basically a forecast of like pretty gusty conditions from midday today, well, from 12 o'clock, 1 o'clock today. So we just wanted to make the most of the weather window before that hit.
So when you've got a narrow window like that, what can you focus on? What's the best way of maximising the time on the water?
I think it depends where you're at with the boat, but you know, with the AC40 for us, you know, we're still learning it, so it's kind of taking it up to the next step, sort of taking it up to 20 knots wind speed and just sort of seeing how she behaved. So that was the main plan for today.
Did you get as high as 20 knots of wind speed today?
We weren't quite there. We ended up with 18 at times, but it was probably 4 knots up on where we've been before.
I think this is your first time seeing the boat in action. Any immediate thoughts?
You know, it's super well behaved. You know, the guys have got to grips with it pretty quickly, and it's been a really useful platform, and actually really looking forward to racing it later on this year.
I've been asking this question a little bit. What's it going to take to get competitive advantage in a one design class like this? All the boats are identical and the boats seem relatively easy to sail.
Yeah, I think it'll really depend on the conditions, because you know, as we've seen with the guys in New Zealand, when it is windy, I wouldn't say they're that easy to sail. You know, they can be a handful then. At the bottom end of the scale, you know, their performance is pretty impressive in the lighter wind speeds. But yeah, I guess, you know, in that sort of 10 to 15 knots, the rating's going to be tight, and it's going to be similar to the F50s, you know, where you're just going to be solid boat handling, being all over the setup and just being accurate with your trims.
So we're back in around midday today. Tomorrow the forecast looks quite gnarly. What's your thoughts around that?
I think tomorrow it's going to be out of range. We're expecting gusts of sort of 30-35 knots tomorrow. So we'll be spending the day in the shed.
Hopefully back into it on Wednesday.
Exactly.
All right, we'll look forward to seeing you then. Thanks for talking to us, Rob.
Cheers.
That's nice. Thanks, man.